Ladies and gentlemen, the gift-giving season is upon us, and for years, us runners have had to tolerate subpar Christmas presents, but no longer. If the runner in your life has been too lazy to provide you with a wish list, I am here to help. In this bag, I have some absolutely surefire Christmas presents for this year's Christmas. Whoever said socks was a terrible Christmas present does not deserve any present at all, because in fact socks are great, especially if they are merino wool socks. Now merino wool socks are great because they're usually a little bit more expensive than what us runners usually buy, so giving someone a nice pair of socks is definitely a good present because it's not something we would necessarily buy ourselves. These socks from Smartwool, you can both get them in a low cut and a high cut, and will keep your feet nice and warm through those winter months. I think every single runner should have a pair of merino wool socks in their closet at all times. I've used Smartwool for years now. I actually started using them for hiking, but now I found they work great as running socks as well, especially if we don't quite have the money to fork over for some waterproof shoes. So socks are a great present. I don't care what anyone says, they're excellent. If you've ever heard the phrase, "Oh, my legs are so tired, I can't do anything today," then you, my friend, is in a prime opportunity to provide the runner in your life with a massage. This is a massage gun from Infinity. Massage guns comes in basically all price ranges, all classes, and they all have different features depending on which one you buy. This is mine. I really like it. I have used it far more than I would like to admit. This works fine for what I need it for. If I've had a really long week of a lot of running, or I've had a really long interval pass, or I actually just need to wake my legs up before a training session, then a massage gun is excellent. If you want to upgrade to something more fancy, or you know somebody who takes their training really seriously, then getting something like this from Hyperice is the way to go. It has Bluetooth included, so you can actually connect it to your phone and set it to different massage modes if for that extra little spice. So getting something like this, if your budget is for it, it's a bit on the steeper side, but is an excellent Christmas present. The next one is on the cheaper side, and it's something that us runners often neglect. It is a high visibility vest. I actually got one for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I gotta say it has been living with me for the last 2 years. As soon as we get past October, I have it on for basically any run because, well, I have time in the afternoon, and that's when it starts to get dark. And you don't want to be run over by a car. So, getting a high visibility vest for someone is never a bad present. It does say a lot about you as a person. It says, I care for you and I don't want you to get run over by a car. So getting a high visibility vest is an excellent gift. Staying on the topic of high visibility vests, if you want somebody to help somebody extend their training sessions to past the time of dark, even if they live in the city, then getting a headlamp is a very good option. This one is the one from Neo 5R. It's a very price-friendly headlamp and works really, really well for essentially like urban areas or like dim roads. If you are going out into the forest alone at night in the pitch dark, I would recommend getting something with higher lumens. But you know somebody who runs in the city or runs somewhere that's near a light source but not necessarily enough, then something like the 5R is excellent, and it falls in a very, very nice price point. So next up, if you know somebody who is very, very dedicated about their training and is a real numbers nerd, then getting something like a Garmin HRM-Pro heart rate monitor is the way to go. The watches that most of us usually run with have an optical sensor that essentially monitors the regulation in blood flow within your veins, but because it is registering on your wrist, it is not necessarily as accurate as something like this, which essentially has 2 little pads placed here and here that then monitor the electric signals that go to your heart, making it beat. This is way more accurate and is something that anybody who takes their training seriously should own. Staying on the subject, if you have somebody who would like to be a numbers nerd or is a numbers nerd to be, then getting them essentially an activity watch would be a great first step in that direction. The activity watches do solve a lot of the a lot of the issues that you have when you just use your phone, because you do get heart rate monitoring that is still somewhat accurate. You get activity tracking, you get GPS, and everything is on your wrist. This was a game changer when I got my first running watch a couple of years ago, because I don't essentially have to bring my phone anymore. I can just go out on a run whenever. The GPS tracking is extremely accurate, and you don't necessarily have to worry about a bulky phone. Especially because us runners are a little bit sensitive to anything that is unnecessary when we're out training. So something like the Garmin Forerunner 55 will be an excellent option. It has all the basics that you would need in a running watch. So if you know somebody who's just getting into running and needs a price-friendly activity watch, the Garmin Forerunner is excellent. Now I would like to round out with a soft package that is kind of in a similar ballpark as the socks. It is, of course, a hat. Hats are excellent, and nothing quite says I care about you more than giving someone a hat so they can stay warm during the winter. And you can never have too many hats. I mean, nobody can have too many hats. So getting a hat is a sure gift for the runner out there. And yeah, these merino ones are absolutely amazing. They're nice and soft, and they are reversible. So if you want to go with a different look, you can reverse them inside out and they will still work just fine. So getting a merino wool hat is the way to go. Plus, they look absolutely excellent on anybody, even me. So all in all, these are some excellent Christmas presents for the runner in your life. Nobody will be having a disappointed Christmas if you go with something like this. Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year when you get that far.